I was in dev mode, yeah. I swear, Friday mornings drag on too bloody long, but hey, I'm here now. I forgot it was British. Until they used bloody. As usual, I check my timetable for today's classes. For fuck's sake. As a side, I remind myself that my first class today is with Karasawa. If there is a hell, I'm certain that would be preferable to his classes. Grumbling all the way with dread, I make my way into school. I'm gonna be honest also, they shouldn't have given these teachers names, because I do not remember them in any way. Like, giving the teachers names aren't gonna help me remember which one, because like, he said one was like a pain in the ass, and like another one wasn't. I don't know which one they're referring to. Just giving them names doesn't help. Like, Blue Skies helped me because Sakura had an actual sprite. You know, he was a character. So I was able to remember him better because of that. These teachers don't even have sprites still, and they barely have any dialogue, so there's not even really a point to even giving them names. Like, you might as well just say, I hate my history teacher. And then you could just say, like, Mr. Kurosawa, you know, or whatever the hell like that. But it's like, they say it like they're actual characters. Like, I'm supposed to be like, oh, damn, he got Kurosawa again. And I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. I forgot. All this swearing and you still aren't based. Yeah, I already mentioned the swearing. I don't want to keep bringing it up, but yeah, just, jeez. As I reach the door to the classroom, a familiar face catches my eye. Seems like a lot of familiar faces keep catching your eye. I gotta stop it. It's gonna be Yuri. There it is. I was like, I think it's Yuri's turn to catch his eye now. Yuri? Yuri gasps in surprise as her eyes look to mine. She catches her chest to ease her breathing. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that.
You didn't scare me, Zero. I just didn't expect to see you here.
Note to self, try not to scare anyone else. Something then hits me. I didn't realize you were in Karasawa's class.
Unfortunately, yes.
Guess there's something us two have in common. Although, isn't complaining more of a Natsuki thing?
My grades might be good, but I just wish the classes were easier to digest.
What do you mean isn't complaining? What? But all she said was unfortunately yes. She didn't like go into an entire rant. All she said was yes. So yeah, it would make more sense if she went into an entire rant. Like, why is he like, whoa, Yuri, stop with the complaints. Next two of us. As I lay with my back against the wall, neither me or Yuri say another word. That is until Yuri gets next to me. I turn and notice she has the same faint blush on her cheeks from yesterday. You okay?
Yes. I was just wondering if we could...
She paused momentarily, but I soon hear her mumble.
He's going to think I'm weird.
Yuri?
I was wondering if we could sit together in class today.
Kurosawa is strict with most things, but the seating plan ain't one of them. Still, it's not usually something you'd get nervous about asking. And again, this is Yuri after all. Being upfront about this isn't something she's confident with. Are they trying to push a Yuri subplot of Yuri having feelings for us? Oh no, as soon as I said that, I looked in chat and everybody's like, no, and they're exiting music.
Why is Yuri just a tool to be used for, like, bad things to happen?
Because I was like, because earlier she said something where she, like, looked at MC and she had, like, a blush or something, and it was like, it's been awkward or something. Like, are they really going to use Yuri again as Yuri has feelings for him? Is that what they meant by this mod is inspired by X of Music? Was it not Redux it was inspired by? Was it the original? Uh-oh. So is Natsuki dying now? It'd be funny if they still made Natsuki die. Just it didn't switch to Monica. Natsuki still died. No, I don't want. I'm not gonna. We're jumping the gun though. We don't know for sure. We're jumping the gun a little bit. It's a little too much. You know, we don't have any confirmation yet, so everyone calm down. There's no confirmation that this is what they're going for. In a way, it's kind of admirable. Yeah, of course. Yuri beams. Efforts have paid off. As upon cue, the bell then rings and we head inside. Although it will be funny if, like, Yuri ends up having feelings for him, but Natsuki and Sayori don't. I'm like, what is it that says about this guy that somehow Yuri has feelings for him, but Natsuki doesn't? Like, what? Or Sayori. Like, at least with Exit music, it made sense, because it's like, oh, if Yuri likes him, of course Natsuki would like him. It's like, how the fuck would Yuri like a guy that Natsuki doesn't even... that makes more sense of Natsuki liking him. So yeah, no. Like I said, can't be confirmed to yet. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're doing it. It could be wrong. It was a Yuri mod all along. It turns out it was Yuri slander all along. Yuri fans are like, of course Yuri would play this mod. It was all part of his plan. Can't help but notice Yuri seems a little more lively during class. It's nice to see it, of course, but I can't shake the feeling that there's more to her excitement that she's letting on. Oh, no. No, please. Like, much, much more than she's letting on. Please. It's just because he's a good friend. He's a good friend. So when are we killing Natsuki?
Yay. I want Natsuki to die.
Natsuki's weird in this mod. She'd be all like, oh, fuck, shit, don't kill me, bitch.
Oh, fuck shit.
Guys, there's no confirmation. The mod is not doing a good job at hiding it, though. Like, much, much more. I get it. Like, unless the mod... Who knows? Maybe the mod's going in for a bait, though. Maybe it's a bait. Maybe it's making you think that Yuri likes him, but really, it's gonna bait you and be like, hoo-hoo! Actually, she's just really happy to have a friend.
No.
Zero, you're taking all of the copium. Look, man, I just don't want to jump the gun.
Oh.
I just don't want to jump the gun, bro. I'm giving the mod the benefit of the doubt. Just Zero, this mod isn't smart enough to do that bait. Look, man, I'm just fine. Okay, maybe it is fine. It probably is pushing this. Why? I don't know. It's like, see, it even makes less sense when you have to think about the fact that it's like, this mod is using the side stories as a canon too. So it's like, I'm again, big if this mod is pushing the whole Yuri likes MC as well, it feels very weird that Yuri would go out of her way to try and steal a boy who is obviously, quote unquote, Natsuki's words, obviously interested in Monica, after she spent all that time with her and got so close with Monica during the side stories. Like, in base game DDLC, sure, that could make sense. We don't know how close they all are. But since this game is using the side stories as a canon, that means they're all decently close to one another, considering how close they all get after the side stories. So it's a little weird that Yuri would do that to someone she considers like a very good friend, you know? Like, it just feels odd. Like, it just feels like a uncharacteristic move from Yuri. Especially Yuri, of all people. But again, like I said, maybe it's not doing that. Who knows? Maybe we could be jumping the gun. I'm just saying if, it would not really make sense. Honestly, Natsuki kind of being really rude and storming out also doesn't really make sense when the side stories are put into perspective now that I think about it. Like, now that I'm not saying they can't have conflict after the side stories happen, but for, like, Natsuki to, like, I guess to, like, yell at Monica and then, like, storm out, I don't know, like, it feels a little weird. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. And especially for Yuri to, like, blame her, like, now you've done it, Natsuki, after the self-love side story? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, after the self-love, Yuri, you helped her with a panic attack. Why would you say such a thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know. People give as always, you guys can give your takes in the comments. I always read the comments of these videos because I'm interested in, like, people's opinions and stuff. The bell finally rings for lunch, and I head out of class and straight for the rooftop. Felt quite relaxing yesterday, so why not? Oh yeah, Sayori at school today? Or is she still sick? Actually, yeah, wait, is she still sick? She's still not. She's still not. She's still not at school. I mean, I guess she had food poisoning. I guess she could be sick for 2 days in a row. I can't help but still feel a little tense after my interaction with Yuri this morning. Sure, it was nice seeing her a little more lively. Felt a little too lively. Okay. I swear I caught her making a good few glances at me during class. Almost like she wanted something, but was too scared to ask. No. No. Exactly what that something is, I don't have the slightest clue. So lost in my thoughts, I open the rooftop door and make my way towards the same bench as yesterday. No. No. Before I sit down, I catch a glimpse of Monica, causing my heart to beat more steadily as a smile comes over my face. I guess Monica must have heard me as she looks back, smiling and waving back equally as cheerily.
Hey, Zero.
Easily taken from my inner turmoil regarding Yuri, I wave back. Hey! I'll go over and sit next to her. A faint blush overcomes the pair of us, but Monica seizes the moment and sparks a conversation as we start to eat.
So, how's your day been?
It's been okay so far. I start, first looking at Monica, then out to the skyline. Kurosawa's class was, well, the usual. I managed to get a chuckle out of Monica.
Anything else?
Part of me considers whether to tell her about my suspicions regarding Yuri, but I decided to ignore it. Suspicions about what?! Yuri was too happy next to me today, Monica. I felt the need to tell you, considering we are not in a relationship. Like, you're not officially in a relationship, so what, there's nothing to tell. Like, what? Wouldn't be right for me to talk about people like that. Nothing much, no. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Monica follows my gaze to the surrounding cityscape. We remain like this for a few moments. Just the two of us, staring longingly out to the seemingly never-ending space around us. It almost feels romantic to some degree. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice that Monica's inched herself even so closer to me. My heart rate slowly, but surely, starts to increase. Though not as much as it does when she rests her head on my shoulder. Stay calm. Stay calm. Try to ease my breathing, but no matter how hard I try, my chest feels like that of an unlucky crew member on the Nostromo. Why? How Monica hasn't noticed yet is beyond me. Unless she has, but doesn't want to say something. I eventually calm myself enough to speak to her. You okay? I feel her nod against my shoulder.
Yeah, just a bit tired.
Why doesn't this sound like the truth? I playfully nudge her, causing her to giggle gently. Do I have to get you a can of coffee before club? I jokingly taunt her. She looks up at me, a little surprised.
If you wanna.
Seems a little flustered. Again, I was joking initially. However, her reaction would make me feel a little bad if I didn't. I insist. I speak, feigning confidence in my own words. It's a response that makes her smile either way. The bell then rings, signaling the final third of the school day. Monica takes herself off my arm and we start heading back down. That was a very short time on the roof. I saw someone say we have to make a good Yuri mod ourselves. No, chat, that's the thing. Yuri has good mods. The problem here is that Yuri is characterized very well in Yuri mods. It's that for most mods, if Yuri isn't the love interest or main focus, she's not characterized very well a lot of the time. Like, if she's not the main interest of the mod, people tend to not fully sometimes know how to deal with her. I'm not saying this is every mod. It's just she gets the bad end of the stick a lot of the time. And I think that's mostly due to Act 2. The problem is Zero isn't gonna play them. Okay. This was not an attack on my character. I played a Yuri mod. I literally played a date with Yuri. Don't you at me, bro. Like I said, I'm not saying this with every mod. Most mods do Yuri well. It's just some mods don't. That's really all it is. Like, there's definitely not mods that, like I was saying, like, there's not, I don't think I've played many mods where Yuri gets completely shat on. The only ones I can think of are, like, Exit Music and, like, maybe, the Walking Doki, because she's barely in that. So, yeah, it's like, a good amount of mods do her correctly. do know how to like make Yuri well. It's just the fact that in some mods, it's just when they need a weird, like, I guess, villain character, they use Yuri for some reason. Well, not a villain. I don't know, like a weird, like, and they need an antagonist, they use Yuri. Like, it's weird. And how many Monica mods have you played between then and now? Look, man, I'll play Yuri mods eventually, okay? There's also, but to be fair, in my defense, I've heard some Yuri mods don't exactly characterize other characters all that well. Because I've heard some problems with Yuri mods are Natsuki isn't characterized the best. Like, sometimes they make Natsuki too much of a bitch. Like, there's one mod I didn't really want to play, I think was what, Fallen Angel. Everyone just says that's just Yuri exit music, and I don't want to play that, because I heard they say they make, like, Monica, like, straight up just evil. And, like, so I'm like, I don't really want to play that. Well, fair is fair. Well, let's say the Yuri and the Natsuki fans don't get along. Like, a Natsuki fans, they're like, we're gonna make Yuri mean. And then fucking the Yuri fans are gonna make Natsuki mean. It's like, stop it, stop it. So, yeah, it's like, I'll play some. Calm your tits for tats, boys. Sayori fans are just chilling. Sayori fans, for the most part, make the characters fine, I guess. I don't know. Sayori fans are sometimes the ones who make Monica evil, though. Because there's some Sayori mods where Monica's like super fucking evil. Rain clouds. In a way, I'm thankful that people rarely come up here. If anybody had seen Monica laid on me like that, let's just say the rumor mill would be in bloody overdrive. Once Monica and I head back down, we walk for a bit as we make our way to the class. Also, yeah, there was a reference, and I was like, stop it. I don't even know what it was a reference to. Don't worry, guys, I got it. Aha. Ooh, it was a reference to a good old ship. A reference to a novel. There you go. It was a reference to a novel, chat. Oh, and Alien. Oh, it was a reference to Alien. Oh. It was a reference to Alien. Yeah. Yeah. And now that I just said that, yeah, that's not, because I was like, it sounded familiar, but I couldn't tell what it was, and I was like, okay, yeah, it was Alien. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, why? Why? Again, I'm fine with references to a degree, but also, it's like, you probably shouldn't have a reference during a scene like that that's supposed to be like a nice romantic scene, and he's just like, oh man, Alien, am I right, boys? And I'm like, what, why? Getting the reference is worse, don't worry. It definitely is. I think understanding the reference right then and there is probably worse, but I could still tell it was a reference because it was just a random thing that was capitalized, so I was like, why? Bro, you're name calling it like you're saying its name. Like, yeah, like it's just like you could have made it like it should be like a it shouldn't be so detailed. It should be like a roundabout reference, you know? Like then it could work. Once Monica and I head back down, walk for a bit as we make our way to class. Some of the students that were there near the stairwell did give the pair of us suspicious looks, but not one word was said. Thank whichever deity is out there for that. Eventually, we find ourselves outside my IT class, one of the other few classes I actually enjoy. See you at the club, okay? I speak, grabbing the door handle as I do so.
See you then.
She then goes off to her own class with a noticeable bounce to her step. I then head inside and take my seat. Admittedly, my focus during class is almost non-existent. Monica dominates the most part of my thoughts. I find myself sighing as I get lost in my head. I really have fallen for this girl, haven't I? After the sixth and final class of the day drags to its end, I make my way into the corridor into the nearest vending machine. How many? Does he think about anything else besides Monica? I was thinking about talking about this, and I still don't exactly know where I feel on this. You know? It's like, where I'm like sitting here, like, where I'm just like, he's like constantly thinking about Monica, and I get it, but it's like, it's starting to be a case of where it's like, that's like all he thinks about. Like I feel like we've seen the line of, once again, I only think about Monica. It's like, god damn, dude. You think about something else. Like, I'd understand if something just happened between him and Monica that made more sense. You know, like if they just like hugged or something. I guess she laid on him, I guess, for a little bit. But even then, that happened so long ago. But, like, he'll even do it when, like, nothing even happened recently with him and Monica. Like, I feel like he's got to think about something. Yeah, he could think about Quake. Like I said, this is probably mostly a nitpick since I get it. It's supposed to be like a he's in love type deal. So it's mostly is a nitpick. It's just, geez, dude. It's just, he's not really giving me much things for him to really think about. Like, he is just thinking about Monica. It is just Monica. Yuri's been acting more sus than a character in Among Us. Yuri acting more sus than an imposter right now. After the 6th and final class of the day drags to its end, and we're going to, okay, right, the nearest vending machine. Making good on my promise from earlier, I pull out some coins and get 2 cans of coffee. One for myself, and one for Monica. After I put them in my pockets, I start making my way up to the club. It's a mostly silent walk until a voice catches my attention.
Zero?
I turn around, and sure enough, Yuri's standing right there. Almost like she was waiting. I doubt that was the case, though. Oh, hey, Yuri. You just get out?
Yes.
Yuri answers quite shyly. Then, that in itself is fairly standard for her, but considering this morning... No, I'm just overthinking it. No worries. Anyway, I'm just about to head up to the club. You want to walk with, or...
I'd like that, yes.
And then make enough space for Yuri to get next to me, and we start to walk up. Did they just, like, imply that, like, Yuri's, like, creepy and was, like, fucking, like, waiting for him to... No, stop. Stop. Why you gotta do this to Yuri, bro? The walk with Yuri was quiet. After how hectic my last class was, it is so much needed silence. However, as was the case in Kurosawa's class, Yuri did make the occasional glance at me. I opened the clubroom door and we both head in, initially going our separate ways before we're stopped by Natsuki.
There you two are! I was worried I'd be the only one in today.
Natsuki's voice comes off more as a concerned whine. Although it does bring up an important question. Monica's not here yet? Natsuki focuses her attention on me.
Why does the mod feel the need to, like, describe the way people talk every single time someone talks?
So I'm not the only one because I was thinking about that, right? Like, I said, like, the mod's overly descriptive. Like,
doing that a little too much.
It does that a bit too much, because at one point I was like, I wasn't sure if that was, like, an actual thing that was happening. Because I was like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. And now it's like that someone else is saying it. I'm like, yeah, like, that's been happening, right? Like, that's a thing. Like, it's just, like, it feels like it's a little too much. Because they did it before. They added it into vanilla dialogue. And I was like, in the vanilla, that wasn't even there. Why did they add that? Yeah, I was like, they do it a little too much. Like, I think it's, like, it's not bad to do it. It's bad when you start doing it a lot. Like, you can do it a bit here and there, but when it's, like, consistently been doing it constantly, it's starting to be like, okay, we don't need this. It's a little too much a description. Why are you looking at me like that? Surprised she didn't tell you that she'd be late, Zero. Wait, why? Why else would you two have been on the roof earlier? Being lewd in school? You freaking animals. While Natsuki seems to be reveling in my current embarrassment, Yuri seems dejected by her comments. Almost as a part of her died inside. It is! Why? No! My copium has been destroyed. There is no more copium. They are doing this. The copium is not even... No amounts of copium can think no longer. They are pushing that Yuri has a crush on MC.
I hate this mod. Why are we playing this? Let's stop playing. I'm just joking.
Damn, they're really taking all the girls' characters from Act 2. Yeah, they really are, actually. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That is weird, huh? Natsuki's swearing. Yuri's fucking... Yuri's just fucking trying to steal the man. And Sayori's MIA. Yeah, what the hell? Why is this like Act 2 with Act 1 dialogue? How did Natsuki find out? This was those students from the stairwell? I sighed deeply. Natsuki, it wasn't? What else could? Easy down, and why? Are you really using My Little Pony references?
What?
You could have just said Pinky. You didn't even have to say Pinkie Pie. You could have just said Pinky. Why? Is it canon that MC watches My Little Pony now? Is this a part of this MC's lore?
My Little Pony. My Little Pony.
Thank you for giving the theme song. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
This is not. No, guys, they're giving us information about MC. MC's a brony. It's a part of his that means he's giving him personality. At least we're learning more about him. We're getting more info. The references are a bit overwhelming. Yeah, a lot overwhelming.
I was singing the theme song just in case people didn't know it. My Little Pony.
Oh, of course. So they're gonna know what it is through the theme song.
Yeah.
Easy down, Pinkie Pie. It's not like that. Face Pie looks like a beat right now. My comment seems to lighten Yuri's mood a bit, where they're bursting out into genuine laughter. Ah, yes, it was hilarious. Natsuki, however, looked like she could rush me and make my nose as red as my cheeks. Again, it'd be funny if she wasn't capable of it. She goes to say something, but the door opens.
Sorry I'm late. I hope I didn't worry anyone.
Natsuki goes to say something, but I quickly interject, pointing my thumb in her direction.
They just used that. They just used the I go to say something and then but something interrupts it. They like the 2 lines later they used the same thing.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she goes to say something, my door opens, yeah. They just threw another my lord! Strawberry shortcake. Now, Jesus, stop. Like, stop it. Like, oh my gosh. Strawberry shortcake over here was worried. Oh, is he Deadpool? Is he Gex? like what is MC?
MC's gonna be like, this reminds me of the time when I ate toast.
This reminds me of the time. Don't bring a pen to Yuri's house. This reminds me of preparing cupcakes with Natsuki in my house. As before, Yuri burst into laughter, now being joined by Monica. Of course, because references are funny, guys. Natsuki scowls at me. Either that or she's burst a blood vessel. Also, is this really the best way to be acting when, like, Natsuki... The club left on a very sour note yesterday. Are we just gonna forget that?
Yep.
Like, Natsuki left the club. She, like, walked out. And, we're just gonna forget that and act like everything's I mean, okay, I guess, sure. Like, that just feels weird. If you weren't my friend, I'd beat the shit out of you right now. Guess I should have called her Chucky instead. Please stop. I'm begging you. All these references is hurting me.
Oh my god!
You're killing Wario! Put that out of the way. Yuri and Natsuki go to the usual activities while Monica and I head to the front desk. From across the room, Natsuki gives us both a playful glare of judgment. Monica didn't notice it, but I certainly do. She can be a pain in the ass, but I kind of like that. What? Huh? Huh? What?
Huh? He's mad.
Like, what does this mean? What does this imply? Huh? It's nice having a friend who you can tease each other to Kingdom Come, but knowing it's just that. Jokes. Oh, I guess. Is that what you... Okay, that's what he meant. That was a weird way to say it. I was like, huh? Once Monica sits down, I take one of the cans out of my pocket and place it on the desk. She looks first at the can and then back at me.
Zero?
I told I would. I told you I would. I smile at her, starting to drink out of my own can. Monica smiles back, but seems a bit more fidgety than usual.
You didn't have to do that, you know.
But I wanted to. I mean, I just thought that it'd be...
Thank you.
Monica breaks through my stammering with her voice and a gentle, sincere smile. Remain silent like this for about a minute until Natsuki's shrill voice breaks the spell. For Christ's sakes, get a room, you two! Both their faces flush over with a blush, though Monica seems to be a bit deeper than mine. Not being arsed with another name-calling contest with her, I flip Natsuki the bird with a smug grin on my face. And again, okay, like again, what is this? Why are we, like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna flip the middle finger in the club. What is happening? like again, like what is going on? Like, I get it. Like, again, it's like, you'd be like, it's like, it sucks. I don't want to be the guy that it sounds like I'm saying, we need to be PC, but it's just like, it just feels just out of nowhere. Like, with this type of, like, with the type of atmosphere we've always been given in DDLC, it feels just so off-putting with the type of thing that DDLC does. Like, yes, they're teenagers. I get it. But that doesn't mean that just because they're teenagers, they're gonna go around and doing this. Not every teenager goes around and does all this stuff just because they're teenagers. Like, there are times you can make them flip the bird. Just, it would have to make more sense, in my opinion. It should be something just so casual, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they don't seem like the type of people to just say, like, fuck you to each other, just in club. I was like, it just feels so weird. Natsuki does the same, you see? That's what I'm saying. This doesn't feel like it would happen in DDLC. Cheeky little shite. Yeah, thank you. I'll turn back to Monica, who's smiling through a thick veil of crimson. Sorry about Natsuki.
No, it's okay. Just Natsuki being Natsuki, I suppose.
There's a moment of silence between us two, aside from a few nervous giggles from Monica as we drink our coffee. Are they ever gonna actually have, like, normal conversations?
Yeah, why is, like, this person's definition of romance, like, awkward conversation?
Moments of silence. Like, are they ever just gonna talk? It's like there's stuff they can talk about. Why do they always just have moments of silence? So far, they've had nothing with each other.
Can they just be normal?
Like, I understand them having a moment of silence because something happens between them that's kind of like, oh, you know, like, you know, if it's something like, you know, if that happens, but it's like, it just feels like every, like, 80% of their, like, time together has just been silence. So it's like, oh man, I'm really rooting for them. What do you mean? My favorite scene with them was when they were silent. Like, you gotta be able to give them more conversation topics. Anytime they do talk, it feels like it's, like, too serious. It's only about serious stuff. They never talk about just, like, casual things. And when they do, it's very rare. Canned coffee certainly isn't my preferred way to drink, but it's not that bad. After finishing, I take... Oh gosh. Excuse me. After finishing, I take both cans and put them in the bin. I also let Monica know that I'm going to try to get some reading done as I make my way to the bookshelf. I pick up a smaller book, enter a nearby desk, and start to read.
Zero?
Yuri's soft, seemingly uncertain tones break my focus on the book. She takes a seat next to me before she continues.
I just wanted to apologize for how I acted this morning. Also, I just wanted to inform you that you're reading Boku no Pico.
Ew.
Well, Yuri, it is literature, is it not?
Zero, no. I don't know why it happened, but if it made you uncomfortable... What am I saying? Of course he was uncomfortable.
Yuri, you've got nothing to apologize for. His expression and mannerisms become a tinge more defenseless. That's really the only word I can use to describe them. Sure, it was a bit surprising to see you being more upbeat, but that's not a bad thing.
It's not.
Why would it? If anything, it just means you're getting more used to having me around.
I suppose you're right.
There's a bit of silence between us as I go back to reading. Yuri stays sat next to me, occasionally peering over at the contents of the book I'm reading. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Yuri look around the room before looking back to me and lowering her voice. No, Monica, Yuri likes her. Ooh.
She doesn't have to be there every second, bro.
So, if you mind me asking...
Yuri looks over at the front desk. I follow her gaze and see Monica writing. A small smile forms on my face before looking back to Yuri. About Monica? I keep my voice as low as hers. She nods.
Are you two... you know...
Doesn't take me too long to click onto what she's trying to ask. As much as I
How
wish
could you
that
gather that from all the awkward conversation?
they did hold hands that one time and look into each other's eyes. So yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody could gather that, but it's just kind of. But also was something where it's like that feels very forward for two people who can't even talk to each other. So you can sit there, hold hands, and look into each other's eyes, but you can't have regular. But so far, they haven't had any normal conversations. As much as I wish that was the case. No, we're not.
Oh, so when are you gonna hold my hands and look into my eyes?
I thought, I'm not looking at her, so I thought she said that, and I was gonna be like, what the fuck?
A bit more
And I realized the tone in your voice. I was like, okay, she did not say that.
A bit more awkward silence. I decided to break it. Oh, at least he breaks the one with Yuri. Oh, good. Did you think that we were?
If I'm being honest, yes. At least I thought there was something between you both, but I wasn't sure what.
My face go crimson. Curse my brain for jumping to 30 thoughts.
Besides, I think that Monica would be quite fortunate. If someone like you felt that way about her, Zero.
I swear all the blood in my body has migrated to my face by this point. The look on Yuri's face makes me think she might have said too much. I do want to think what she means by someone like you, but for the sake of not making things more awkward than they already are, I keep my mouth shut. All I'm sharing seemed to go by a little quicker today. There's been like 3 full scene dissolves and we're still on the same day. They keep making me think the day's over. After I finished with Monica, she called Natsuki and Yuri over to join us.
Okay, with the festival being on Monday, I thought it'd be good to sort out something to entice people to have a look inside.
I already know what I want to do. Is Natsuki just fine with this now? What?
Oh.
Huh? Like they just literally didn't like they just forgot. Like she literally stormed out and nothing. Like Sayori says Natsuki apologized, but it's like, but for what? So she just was like, sorry, Monica, I guess I'll accept it. Like we didn't even have that on screen. I feel like that should have happened. Like if we're gonna switch to Monica's perspective for anything, we should have at least fucking switched her perspective for that. Like they mentioned she apologized, but it was off screen. So, like, it's like, if you're gonna switch to Monica's perspective, it should have been when Natsuki was apologizing, because I don't even know how that would have went down. Apologizing for what? Isn't that how Natsuki genuinely felt? Why would she have to apologize for that? Like, it just feels weird. Even telenovelas handle drama better than this. I don't know how to say that word, but I know what you're talking about. Is it telenovelas? It's like fucking soap opera. I already know what I want to do. Natsuki's some burst of enthusiasm isn't lost on anyone, especially Monica.
Cupcakes will definitely do the trick. But we may need a lot of them for the event. And enough for us so that we can have some afterwards, of course.
Can't blame Monica for wanting some just for the club. I honestly think that Knott's baking is some of the best I've ever had.
Challenge accepted, Miss President. Besides, making batches ain't nothing new for me. Isn't that right, Yuri?
Indeed.
Yuri audibly hums as if she's reminiscing about something rather delicious. Oh man, I'm so... See, that's the thing. It's like, you can't sit here and be like, oh, see, look at Natsuki and Yuri. They're so buddy-buddy. Also, Yuri, during stressful situation. Now you've done it, Natsuki. I know my best friends fucking blame me in the middle of a conversation. And are like, what the fuck did you do? Not gonna lie, you're the first person to hear. You're the first person to hear you pronounce it like that. Is it telenovela? Is it telenovela? Oh, I thought it was telenovela. Is it telenovela? Is it Spanish? I think it's that word Spanish. I feel like it is. It's telenovela. Okay, my bad. Monica then turns to Yuri.
Now, Yuri. Admittedly, I did kind of struggle thinking of something you could do. But I was talking with Sayori last night, and she came up with something that I thought suited you.
Oh?
Yuri's interest is visibly piqued.
Well, we both know you adore atmosphere. Maybe you could do something to enhance the mood during the poem recital.
Yuri thinks this over for a moment. A thoughtful smile then carves itself onto her lips. So you're gonna give me all this vanilla dialogue, but then you're gonna take away the one line that brings me joy? You monsters. You take away the one line. That's it. I've had enough. Mod's over. Everyone go home. I've had enough of this.
That sounds wonderful.
She's ecstatic. Again, from what I can tell, it's a rare moment for her. But it's a delight to see nevertheless. Monica then focuses in on me with a nervous smile.
Now, Zero. I couldn't really think of anything you could do. But both Natsuki and Yuri have some hefty tasks, so it'd probably go a long way to help either of them out.
Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? That being said, I've got no idea what Monica's on about doing this weekend. Just out of curiosity, what are you planning to do, Monica? Monica seems a little surprised by my question.
Well, I was gonna print out the pamphlets.
To be completely honest with myself, I might be better off helping Monica. Got no idea what Yuri would be planning for the event. On top of that, I'm not big since I was a kid. I'd be nowhere near as good as Natsuki either way. What? But she literally said that they're gonna need help because they're doing the hefty tasks. So it'd probably go a long way to help either of them out. You're just being an asshole now. By just not picking to help them, you're just being a dick by being like, well, I'm gonna choose my penis and I'm gonna go with Monica. Like, what the fuck? You're not even gonna help out the club. You're just being horny. Like, even if you're like, I can't really cook that well, people don't need people who know how to cook to help them in the kitchen. You can still hand her stuff. Like, what the hell? Looking back at all three girls, I make my decision. I think it'd be best if I help Monica. Each of the girls' faces tell a different story. Yeah, look at Yuri! She's upset! Even though she's obviously upset because she has a crush, but also it's just like, well, they need the most help! This just doesn't work. Each of the girls' faces tell a different story. Monica seems genuinely surprised. Yuri seems kinda crushed. And Natsuki is, well, excellent plan. If we don't get any new members after the festival, you and Monica can always make some. Oh. What the fuck? That's just weird. Alright, that one just kind of went a little off guard. I can't say I didn't expect her to say that. Fucking, this is Natsuki after all. Judging by their expressions, Monica seems beyond bewildered. Yuri, of course, seems mortified. No, it's not like that. Yeah, sure it's not. It literally is MC. Again, she's a cheeky little shite. Of course she is. The clubroom is then filled with the awkward silence to end all awkward silences. Thanks, Nat. All the while, Yuri's looking around the room until her expression changes in a way that gives me the inspiration that she's remembered something.
Just out of curiosity, what's Sayori going to be doing?
I forgot to ask her.
She says that part to herself before muttering something under her breath. If you want, I can always call her and see what she wants to do.
Are you sure she's gonna be okay with that?
I mean, there's only one way to find that out for sure. As I speak, I retrieve my phone from my pocket and start to dial.
Hi, Zero.
Hey, Sayo. Still sounds a little groggy, but nowhere near as bad as yesterday. Can I just put you on speakerphone?
Yeah?
I then do so and place my phone on the closet nearby desk. On the closest nearby desk, not closet nearby desk. Why is the word closet there?
So, what's going on?
Well, we're doing some stuff for the festival this weekend, and we've got something for everyone. Except you. Monica's still slightly embarrassed about the whole situation.
What's everyone else doing again, Monica? Well, Zero and I were gonna print the pamphlets, Natsuki's gonna be baking, and Yuri's going to be sorting out some atmospheric enhancements.
As Sayori thinks to herself, Monica makes her way to the front desk. Natsuki and Yuri eagerly wait for Sayori's response.
I think I've got an idea. You free on Saturday, Yuri?
I am, yes.
Anything you were planning for it?
Yuri's taking this more seriously than I'm used to. She's full of surprises like that.
I was thinking about a banner, maybe.
Maybe we could do that. And that could give the banner enough time to dry.
That would be delightful, Sayori.
Yuri smiles to herself. I can gather that her mind is already racing.
And Natsuki?
Yeah?
I think we could bake the cupcakes on Sunday.
Natsuki's eyes sparkle.
Hell yeah, we can. That way the cupcakes will be fresh for the festival. Love your thinking, girl.
Let's just pray that Sayori doesn't scoff all the cupcakes for the festival. I don't want to hear it from you. You're forcing the sick girl to go and clean up your fucking mess because you want to be horny. Alright? I don't want to hear it from you, MC. Who am I kidding? Like Natsuki would let that happen. I pick my phone up from the table and take it off speaker. You're a lifesaver, Sayori. She's not a lifesaver! You could have fucking did that! Naturally, I'm relieved that we all have got someone to work with over the weekend.
It's no biggie, Zero. Besides, gives you more time with Mani.
I blush, biting my tongue to stop saying anything. Everyone is way too nice to this man. Well, we're not... I'll talk to you later. I grumble with a sigh. Sayori giggles.
Bye.
She hangs up, and I go over to Monica.
Thanks for the save there, Zero. I really owe you one.
It's nothing. Plus, shouldn't you be thanking Sayori rather than me?
Maybe. But still, thank you both for being okay with this.
Why did Monica leave, by the way? Now, I feel like they're kind of overplaying the whole nervous Monica thing. Like, she's embarrassed about it, and she fucking, like, leaves to walk away because she's, like, embarrassed. Like, they're kind of overplaying this a bit too much. I feel like at this point, I'm starting to wonder why Monica is even, like, in charge of the club. It's just, like, it's starting to make me feel like, why is she even in charge as the president? It's starting to, like, they're giving Sayori a little too much to the point where it's like, Sayori should have just been in charge. Monica feels like she can't do anything. Of course I'm okay with this. I did join the club. It's really the least I can do. I didn't say anything. Monica smiles sweetly at me. It's a smile that says 1,000 words. What those words are, I don't know. Just wondering, is there anything else planned for today?
Not really, no. I'll let Natsuki and Yuri know. You can get packed up if you wanna.
Monica goes off to tell both girls that they can leave. As I'm putting everything back in my bag, I think to myself, I get to spend Sunday with Monica. I think it's my feelings towards her making me more anxious. Either that, or the fact I never expected that to ever be a reality. Screw it, it's both those reasons. By the time I've made sure my bag is shut, I've noticed that Natsuki and Yuri have already left. As I sling my bag over my shoulder, I've noticed Monica walking over in my direction.
Hey, Zero.
She smiles sweetly, and I smile back. Oh, hey, Monica. You want anything?
Well...
Why do you say, oh, hey, Monica, like she wasn't here? But like we just didn't get done talking to her like a few moments ago. Oh, hey, Monica.
Well, remember how you wanted to walk home together yesterday?
I nod, blushing how dumb the idea sounded in hindsight. Honestly, what was I thinking? Like, someone like her would...
Well, I'm free today. Does the offer still stand?
Wait, what? Of course it does. Wait, what? Or you wanted to walk home together yesterday? What? He said we could walk tomorrow. What? Did they forget they made plans? Wait, they literally made plans to walk home tomorrow. Why is she like, does the offer still stand? They literally said, well, maybe we can walk home tomorrow. She was like, definitely. Like, they literally made plans to walk home tomorrow. What? Of course it does. I swear this girl knows how to get a reaction out of me. Although that smile on her face seems to be overjoyed by the prospect. Shut up! The plot is progressing finally! Then again, she did say yesterday that if she was free, she'd be up for it. Yeah, so what the fuck? Thanks for pointing it out later! Even though it doesn't make sense for Monica to say, Does the offer still stand? So MC pointing this out in hindsight doesn't help. This doesn't help. Maybe it's something I could ask Sayori about later.
So, you ready to go?
Ready when you are. With that, we make our way out of the club room, with Monica locking up behind us. The walk back with Monica is quiet at first, but as soon as we've left the campus, our walk becomes a lot more lively. Obviously, we talk about the club and the festival for a bit, as you'd expect us to. Oh my god, they're actually talking, instead of just being awkward silences. However, our talk becomes a lot more musical. Looks like that's at least one thing we do have in common. It's not a bad thing either. She sounds incredibly passionate about it herself, especially when it comes to the piano. It's not long until we find ourselves outside my house. Now, honestly, if I knew you were this passionate, I'd have lent you one of my keyboards.
You do that?
Seems a bit shocked by my comment. Of course I would. Gotta stop this stupid grin of mine. Besides, not only are you my friend, but you're clearly passionate, so it's only right for me to help you. Monica looks away for a moment, faintly blushing, but obviously smiling. Her eyes soon lock back onto mine.
You're too kind.
It's nothing, really. Now it's my turn to go red. There's a moment of silence between us. It's almost like the pair of us are trying to find the right words to say. I decided to break the silence. Anyway, I guess I should get going now. I fish my keys out of my pocket as a realization hits me. You gonna be able to get home from here? Monica giggles cutely.
Oh, of course I will.
She then points further down the street, with me catching a glimpse of the more well-off part of the street.
It's just about 20 or so minute walk back.
In that case, should I give you my number?
Of course.
We then quickly exchange numbers, the whole thing proving less awkward than it played out in my head.
Also, would it be okay if we did the printing at your house? I don't actually have a printer at home.
Please don't freak out. I'm cool with that, yeah. Guess my brain finally listened to me. Monica gives me a relieved smile. See you Sunday?
I'll text you when I'm home.
Wait, what would he freak out about? Doing the printing at his house? What? Oh, okay. Oh, because she's going to be at his house. Okay, because he's going to go over to her house. Okay, when they do the thing. Okay, I thought they were doing it at... I thought they were going to be doing it at his house. Okay.
They are doing it at his house. She said she doesn't have a printer.
But she says we're going to do the printing at your house, though.
Yeah.
But aren't they making the pamphlets? So aren't they making
Yeah.
the pamphlets at her house and then going to his house to print them?
I guess.
Well, at least that's what I thought would make sense of this. As I mean, I don't know why she would say if we did the printing, because if they were just doing it all at his house, then she would have to say, like, it would be okay if we did the pamphlets at your house, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be weird. So it's like, I'm pretty sure she means that, I'm assuming. That they're gonna do it at her house and then they're gonna come over to his house. Because that would make sense why he would be like, oh. Song isn't appropriate? Is it? I feel like it kind of fits, actually. I think the song fits for this scene. It's like a chill song. It's like a chill kind of beat song as they talk. I think this song fits. I know someone said this was Daft Punk, but I don't listen to Daft Punk normally, so I can't recognize what song he's even playing right now. Like, I don't listen to Daft Punk, like, almost at all. So, I don't know. I mean, that's something where it's like, so my personal opinion, I can't really judge it because I have no Daft Punk experience. It's the meaning of it? Okay, well then, yeah, I'll say, if you recognize the song, then yeah, you have the right to say that. I don't. That's what I was just saying. That's what I was like, I don't have the right to say, because I don't recognize the song.
I'll text you when I'm home.
Smiles will be bid one another goodbye. I retreat back inside and slump my bag on the couch. My heart's still racing in anticipation for Monica's visit this weekend. Am I too excited for this? Whether I am or not, I don't really care. Just gonna make sure I'm not too much of a pain in the ass. Yeah, make sure you're not too horny. Oh, Monica's bedroom later that night. See if we get some more info here. Maybe this one actually make more sense.
My heart won't stop racing. I'm visiting Zero's house on Sunday. more anxious than I've been before. Better yet, he seems to be looking forward to it. God, I'm so excited. My mom already asked what got me so excited when I got back. I was upfront with her about Zero and my feelings towards him. I'm glad that Dad doesn't get back until late tonight. I already know how he'd react to Mom's suggestion. As I get ready for bed, I internally go over her words and the thoughts I've had since I met him. I have decided. When the time is right on Sunday, I'll confess. Whether he feels the same way or not, part of me just needs him to know. As soon as those thoughts cement themselves in my consciousness, I feel my chest tighten. I place my hand gently on my chest and take an audible deep breath. You can do this, Monica. I say to myself. You can do this. I can do this.
Oh my god. An actual, a point of view switch that actually makes sense for her. But yeah, we're gonna stop it right here. Alright. So, this mod is getting weird. So, like, some of my biggest issues that I can remember from the top of my head, obviously, are MC picking to, like, work with Monica after Monica already points out that Natsuki and Yuri probably are gonna need more help than she does. It just feels like a horny pick, man. Like, it just really feels like he's just, like, being an asshole to the rest of the club just because he likes a girl. Like, he's like, well, Monica, I can help you, you know? Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? Fuck the rest of the people who might actually need help for the festival. I want to hang out with the girl I like. Like, it just kind of seems like a dick move. References, too abundant. They need to stop. Like, my god. There are way too many references, man. They take me out. Song placement hasn't been too bad for this so far. It wasn't as bad as like it was for that one scene. Song placement has been fine. There was that one really like abrupt change when Monica was on the roof that one time. He's like, Monica? Like, it just like fucking instantly was like, ah. Like I said, Monica crying for that one scene, like where Natsuki didn't agree with her, that was a little weird. I thought that was a little like too she was played up a little too much there. But, yeah, and Monica and MC having too many awkward moments with one another instead of actually talking. I feel like there's not enough, like, to show that they actually like each other. So, I don't know. It's a little odd. But yeah. Yeah, also, I don't know. This might be a problem maybe only really right now. But, like, Monica so far hasn't really showed that she should even be the club president. Like, I feel like I understand they wanted to make, you know, they wanted Sayori to feel like she's important too. But so far, I feel like they've done it too well to the point where I feel like Monica hasn't even shown why she's even in charge. Like, at least with the base game, there's a nice little balance of it being like, okay, because they're like, of it being like, okay, Monica is like able, she, you know, she gives orders and stuff, you know, and she even kind of convinced them to even still want to share at the festival. Like, she was able to convince them to be able to do that. So there's that. There's fucking, and even during Natsuki and Yuri's argument, some people seem to forget that Monica does break up the rest of it. Like, if you pick Yuri or Natsuki, when Natsuki's about to say something extra, Monica does cut her off and then say, Yuri apologized. Don't you think it's time for you to do so as well? Like, Monica does have some authority in that situation. Sayori only breaks up that argument when you force her to, basically. When you say, Sayori, and then she's like, huh? And then you're like, yeah, look what you're doing to Sayori. Like, after you use Sayori as a scapegoat, that's when Sayori feels the need to break up the argument. I'll say, so it's like, Monica's not, like, terrible when it comes to handling people. She can still, like, deal with an argument. So, yeah, so it's like, it feels like Sayori's a little too OP in this. It's to the point where I'm like, why isn't she just the president? But yeah, I don't know. That's just the things I can think of right now. So far, this mod ain't looking so hot. That's all I have to say. Like, there's been some good moments, like I've said. There's been some moments, there's been some fine things. Oh, the profanities are another thing that's kind of like, iffy about this. So far, I've not been a big fan of this. Apparently, people have said the confessing scene is really good. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see how that plays out. I've seen some people say that they really enjoyed that. So, that's probably going to be happening on Sunday today. But yeah, so far, yeah, it's not been the hottest, but we'll just have to wait and see, shall we? Yeah, anyway, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Zero. Peace.